My name is Ezra Temko, and I'm here on St. Patrick's Day on behalf of Delaware Americans for Democratic Action. We're here with the Americans for Tax Fairness Coalition to ask Senator Carper, Senator Coons, and Congressman Carney to put the green back in the budget by asking corporations to pay their fair share. We need big corporations to bring their pots of gold back from tax havens like the Cayman Islands to the United States. Delaware organizations, elected officials, and businesses have come together to ask Congress to support revenue-positive corporate tax reform. This video features one representative from each. Listen to Delaware State Education Association President Frederica Jenner speak about why she supports closing corporate tax.
One of the best investments any society can make is in the education of its children. Under the current so-called sequester, to cite just a few examples of what could be lost, almost 2,000 Delaware students will lose career and technical education opportunities. The state will be denied well over $1.5 million in special education funding, and key elements of our early childhood education initiatives could be impacted. We can reduce our debt and still continue our investment in children's education if we choose to raise sufficient revenue. One of the best places to create the revenue stream would be to access the resources of super profitable and undertaxed multinational corporations. Big companies regularly hide profits in foreign tax havens and use other accounting acrobatics to avoid fair taxation. Fair, equitable, and effective corporate taxation, not ongoing cuts to education, is the smart way to bring down our debt.
Jason Scott, I'm the CEO of Prestwick House. American businesses aren't supposed to have two sets of rules. One for large, well-connected companies and one for smaller firms, but that's exactly what we have in today's tax code. Tax dodging by large corporations not only deprives us of needed public investment in education, research, and infrastructure, but it creates an unlevel playing field between large organizations and small ones like myself. Main Street shops, mid-level manufacturing firms like mine, and small family businesses pay our fair share in taxes. We don't hide our profits overseas or practice elaborate accounting tricks to get out of paying our tax obligation. It's time we close these tax loopholes and create a level playing field between large and small businesses here in America.
Hi, I'm John Kowalko, State Representative for Delaware's 25th District. Bad federal budget decisions, like the current so-called sequester, hurt people right here in Delaware. These decisions are made in an almost bipartisan manner, and that's the awfulness of these bad decisions being made. Because of the sequester's indiscriminate across-the-board cuts, 1,500 Delaware women and their young children will lose nutritional aid, and schools serving almost 4,000 low-income Delaware students will lose the extra funding they need to keep at-risk kids in class and on track, among many other damaging effects. We should cancel the sequester and address our federal deficits in a rational way. And we can do that if we restore fair taxes on our nation's largest, most profitable corporations. In the past 60 years, the share of federal revenue coming from those corporations has plummeted by 3/4. Corporations pay taxes on average at only about 1/3 the official corporate tax rate. In many years, some of the best-known names in corporate America, companies like General Electric, Boeing, and Wells Fargo, pay no federal income tax at all. We should close those loopholes, and we should put a stop to accounting tricks that let big corporations avoid paying their fair share. That's how we'll get our federal finances back in shape without further cuts to vital social investments, and that's how we'll be able to effectively balance the state budgets without giving undue harm and doing undue harm to our most vulnerable people in the state.
Delaware organizations, elected officials, and businesses have come together to send a joint letter to Congress asking our federal delegation to ensure big corporations pay their fair share by closing tax loopholes that reward corporations for disguising U.S. profits as foreign profits.
Dear President Obama, Senator Carper, Senator Coons, and Congressman Carney.
Dear President Obama, Senator Coons, Senator Carper, and Congressman Carney.
So I'm directing this message to President Obama, Senator Carper, Senator Coons, and Congressman Carney.
We need a tax system that is fair and provides sufficient revenue. The corporate tax share of federal government receipts has dropped from 32% in 1952 to 8% now. Big U.S. corporations should contribute responsibly toward costs of government and the well-being of our economy. However, some big corporations, including General Electric and Verizon, avoid federal corporate income taxes entirely.
Our country needs adequate and sustainable revenue to fund public services and infrastructure and to help make the economy work for all. Small businesses, our biggest job creators, benefit from a strong local economy and customer base. Small business owners pay their taxes, leaving them at a competitive disadvantage compared to tax-avoiding corporations. That's why more than 9 in 10 small business owners say big corporations' use of loopholes to avoid taxes is a problem.
Corporations should not be rewarded for shifting jobs and investment overseas or disguising U.S. profits as foreign profits to reduce their taxes. We need to close those corporate tax loopholes so we can level the playing field and raise revenues needed to restore economic vitality.
We should reject demands to change to a territorial tax system, which would provide further incentive for and permanently reward corporations that use manipulative accounting techniques to shift domestic profits to foreign tax havens. As Delaware's Joe Biden has said, a territorial tax will create 800,000 new jobs, all of them overseas, all of them.
Please support revenue-positive corporate tax reforms that end U.S. corporate abuse of tax havens and other tax loopholes that are available to them now. With the people of Delaware need us, the people of America need us. Thank you.
Senator Carper, Senator Coons, and Congressman Carney, show Delawareans you stand with us. Co-sponsor the Corporate Tax Dodging Prevention Act. Reverse the sequester and replace it with new revenue from closing corporate tax loopholes. To read the letter and see the list of signers, visit www.delawareada.org/video.